I think my first sort of idea, when I think about sort of saving money and growing your business, is just thinking about who's talking to your customers. I think it was a really interesting conversation between I think it was Nick, and our friend the locksmith around what's your USP, what do you actually stand for. So I remember when I first went to set up my company, I sat down with the bloke who was going to put a little bit of money in to help us get going, and he said, "What's your USP?" And I was like, "Well, I don't need one of those, do I? I do recruitment. I'm really good at it. So what?" It's like, no, you need to have a point of difference. And ours was, we just guaranteed our placements for 6 months. If we hired someone and they didn't work out, we gave the customer their money back. Very simple. Hardly ever had to use the guarantee. The business grew fantastically. So understand what your USP is, and know how to articulate it to a customer. Who here's a salesperson? Yeah, we all are. We all own businesses. If we can't sell our business, who's going to? And who's talking to your customer? I tell you what, it's dead easy as you grow your business, you stop talking to your customers. Remember one day walking into my business and seeing all my sales managers are in meetings looking at spreadsheets. What a waste of time. These guys aren't great on spreadsheets. They're good at selling. Make sure that you and your sales folks are out talking to customers. There is that old adage, it's 80% easier to win business from an existing customer than it is to get a new customer. So keep in contact with your customers. I also thought it was interesting hearing from, I think it was Orlando, about his business and how it's busy in winter and quieter in summer. So I'm involved with a bike rental business, a business called Quench Cycles, and they've got an issue in that they're dead busy during summer and school holidays and weekends, and they're dead quiet during the wetter, colder periods. So I was talking to their chief exec, he's a lovely guy, works in a hut overlooking a lake. I was talking to their chief exec and saying, well, how do you solve this issue? And we got talking about a loyalty program, a referral program. And he said, well, to do that, I need a system, I need some kit, I need this, I need that. Like, well, maybe you don't. Maybe you just need one of those kind of raffle vouchers you get at a school fair or a dinner party thing, where when a customer comes in, an existing customer, because his customers really liked him, you just fill out on that ticket the customer's name, and they take it away with them, and they give it to a friend, and the friend can come back and use that as a voucher in one of the quieter periods. He calls them his shoulder periods. Well, within 3 months of doing that, it cost him a couple of raffle books, and it doubled the size of his business. Ask your customers, use referral schemes, use loyalty schemes. That's my number one saving tip, and it's free of charge. The other thing I think often that we do when we're small companies, we actually just forget to survey our customers. Before doing, I've had loads of, I think, brilliant ideas. Anyone who works with me knows will know that I think I have loads of brilliant ideas. A lot of them are really rubbish ideas. Stop laughing. A lot of them are really rubbish ideas. But the great thing is you can just do a really cheap bit of market research, particularly online with companies like Taluna, and you can check out your ideas and see whether they're going to work before you start spending a fortune trying to make them reality. So do a bit of market research as well. But that referral scheme is my number one sort of savings tip. My second sort of idea on how to save money and grow your business, well, I reckon negotiating is about as British as taking penalties. We really don't like asking for money off. We're not all Arthur Daly or Del Boy Trotter or a tremendous investment banker. Can you say those words in the same sentence? I'm not sure. We don't like negotiating particularly. And again, when I set up this business, Hydrogen, my partner was an accountant. And I'd rush out and I'd sell and I'd come back and in our first year we did about £100,000 on the top line or something. And he said, well, I've done better than you. And I said, well, how? And he said, well, I saved us £30,000 this year. Now, if you use that adage of a pound on the bottom line is worth about 10 quid on the top line, that was triple my efforts. And all he did, he's a bit interpersonally challenged, but all he tended to do was ask someone, is that the best you can do? No, is that really the best you can do? And it was amazing how you could save money on price. And actually today, I said my team were charging around Gloucester Road, trying to save the folks in Gloucester Road some money. And I got talking to a guy who runs a cafe up there, Oak Tree Cafe, I think it is. And he said, just once a year, he rings around his suppliers and just renegotiates price. And he reckons he saves about 10% a year in his costs. I tend to find as you grow your business, you get asked to make decisions about costs that you just don't really know about. So people come to you and say, Chris, John, Fred, is this price okay for this? And you're thinking, well, I haven't got a clue. So I think it was Margaret Thatcher who said, you kind of run the economy like a housewife would run, the family budget. Well, I kind of think it's the same when you're looking at suppliers. Just get 3 quotes. It's amazing the difference you'll see in price, and or whether you know you're being charged a reasonable amount for the service that's being offered, it doesn't cost you anything. And the final savings tip I got around negotiation, other than just asking, you'd be amazed what happens when you just ask, is to incentivize your staff for generating savings. So I tend to get folks working with me who go, well, I kind of think I've got a good deal. I say, well, I'll tell you what, let's just go back and see if you can save anything, and I'll split the savings with you this time. It's amazing how many times they come back and say, God, I've saved 50 quid, I've saved 100 quid. It's only small amounts of money, but they all add up. And I believe that you, that your staff, the business, should retain the benefits of your labour. So incentivize your staff to help you negotiate and save money. That money you can use to grow your business. I think my next idea for saving money is perhaps not as exciting, but these hidden costs that we specialise in switching. Put into context, we went into another shop on Gloucester Road today. I think it was a bike shop, and we saved him £500 over 2 years on his broadband. Well, again, if you use that 10-to-1 ratio, that's £5,000. But either way, where do you want the money going? Your staff Christmas party to help reward your staff, or a German or Spanish utility? Just keep on top of them once a year. Whether you use us or not doesn't matter. Just keep on top of them. We reckon that small businesses waste over £3 billion a year on those sleeping costs. So, there are other ways in which you can save money and grow your business. The next thing I found with employing people is get people on a mission. We all know what it's like to get out of bed and pass the duvet test. You can spend a fortune on training and team days and all that kind of stuff. I tend to find a bit of a PowerPoint presentation to let the business know what you're trying to achieve and where you're trying to go. Talking to people and saying thank you, and perhaps having a glass of wine with them massively engages people. And an engaged person would typically have 2 days sick a year off. An unengaged person, 7 days a year sick off. So don't compromise on people, because a high performer is going to outperform an average performer by 1,000%. And get people engaged. And it's only going to cost you a PowerPoint presentation. There are some interesting ways you can employ people now. I think there's lots of people out there you can employ flexibly. Working mums is a huge resource in the country of great talent that you can get flexibly. There's been good apprenticeship schemes bubbling up. So also look at different talent pools to get great talent in cost effectively into your business.